If you, the speaker, focuses hard enough on any of the above words and thoughts and really tries to think those in those words, there will be no stuttering. Over time, different ones will help you the most. Some PWS need to switch back and forth among the thoughts and words throughout the day. Other PWS need only one at all times. Make it a game. Speech is a game, and you are going to win, period. Because you're not quitting until you do love to speak in all venues. So, what's the question? Have you tried any of these since I suggested them a week or so ago? If so, how is it working? That's my question. Back to you, Prathyusha.
Yes, Lou. So I've used a lot of holding the tone, especially during the client meetings at my workplace. So holding the tone, I do it in an exaggerated way, so which is literally singing. So that has helped me calm down and I don't feel anxious. And yeah, singing has always helped me a lot, especially during the first few sentences that I utter.
Yeah, so I have tried the singing and the humming network lately. And I get stuck on the letters like T and D and P. So I've been like I've been like practicing lately and I say P or P or so well P. So I've been like trying that and so that's actually has been very, very helpful for me. I am also practicing to uh sing a lot and I'm singing it I mean often so that way I could like know how to keep that tone throughout my conversations with the parents and the students. And I sing a lot with my kids at school, so that helps too. And I read to them a lot.
You never need to think about a letter.
Hmm.
And all stutterers do that, and I certainly did it myself. But
Hmm.
as long as you do that, you're heading in the wrong direction. You need to ignore letters
Okay.
because they're not the problem. They never were, and they never will be. They're
Right.
all the same. Some are a little harder to say, because you got to twist your tongue a little bit. I don't know
Yeah.
why, or I mean, that's just a fact. But they're not. You're not going to stutter them. So ignoring them, I would say the key, the more pressure you're under,
Hmm.
the less words you say in every increment of your speech, the easier it will be to continue. So the more pressure, the less words that you say at any time. Two, you must link those words, and that's tone. And you said tone is helping, and
Hmm.
that's because it cements linking.
To answer Lee's question, I would say that the word that I use the most is I babble a lot, and that has really helped me and helped me enjoy the conversation.
Highly. So when I speak, I try to focus on the message of my words, but I have a hard time thinking yeah, message without like thinking specific words. So I was curious on what pointers you have for me or
Controlling your mind is the biggest challenge in life. If there's any one thing that this program tries views as most important, it's mind training. if you don't train your mind, you have your mind is conscious and subconscious, and the conscious part takes about 5% of your brain, and the subconscious takes about 95. When you go to sleep at night, your conscious brain sleeps. Your subconscious brain never does. It's open for business all the time. Your brain is a receiver and a transmitter. It's constantly alert for receiving, and it's constantly transmitting in response or whatever. And so you can control on a conscious level.
All right. I also have, a few points to add, Yuri. So initially, when I joined this program many years back, even I had the problem of planning words. I literally see the word in my head and I fear and force it, right? So that's why we all stutter. We force the words out. If you can, so it takes four things to stutter, right? If you like think, plan, hesitate, and force it. So even if you can, even if the word comes to your mind, right? And if you can apply a crutch on that word, and if you're not forcing it, you won't stutter. So the best solution initially, since you're starting this program, I assume you've just started this program. Am I right?
Yeah, I started around 2 months ago.
Okay, so you're pretty new. So what I did back then was the best way to avoid planning words is to focus 100% on a crutch, right? So if you use the crutch nine, like pronouncing every word extremely, putting all your enthusiasm in what you say, you're going to divert your attention from planning words to speaking fluently. So keep doing that over time. You will master the crutches. And once you master the crutches, you'll be able to focus on the message more easily.
One of the biggest things for me is in pressured situations, I tend to start planning because I feel like I have to impress those people that I'm speaking to. And as Patricia said earlier, if you think of a crutch, um, you won't be planning. So could you give me like a live example of how can I apply that?
I'm going to throw that back to Prathyusha because she's the one who gave the answer.
Okay.
Okay, so just let's all assume that I'm in a client call and I have to introduce myself, okay? And I'm already fidgeting and my anxiety is over the roof. So now, hey, hello, my name is Pratusha and I'm working for the internal audit department. And is there, I have a degree in MBA and blah, blah, blah. So initially when I start with a tune, right? You got to exaggerate. So for example, if you're talking with voice modulation like low to high, hello, I want you to exaggerate in the phone call, like hello, exaggerate it more. So when you exaggerate it more, you kind of focus more on the crutch or the speech plan rather than planning the words.
I guess I should have butted in earlier. I was thinking about when Lee, you were talking about focusing on the message. It felt like it reminded me of the times that I am the most fluent, and we've talked about this before, but the times that I'm the most fluent is when the pressure is the highest, especially in like a public speaking situation. And I think part of that is because I'm so focused on the message. I a couple years ago, I had the opportunity to officiate my sister's wedding. So that I'd had a script that I pretty much had to stick to. And I had a whole bunch of people up there and I was running the show. And for a stutterer, that's like the worst nightmare ever. But I didn't even think about stuttering for the whole 20 minutes because I was so focused on the message. And I think the other part of it is I was focused on my enthusiasm and how I was coming across. So
You sound like Clifton,
I
you
think
never stuttered in your life. You sound so good. You know, I would, of course, if you slowed down a little bit, put in a few more stops, your speech, in my opinion, would be a little better. So would mine. I'm no exception to that. But your speech is great, mate.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm gonna end it with it's just funny how classical speech pathologists they used to tell me when I was a little kid, think the words before you speak, but that totally backfired. Speech pathologists they would tell me think your words,
No, that's
before.
wrong. I'm sorry, but that's wrong.
Exactly. So,
It's the last thing. That is the last thing you want to do, Christian. The last.
oh yeah, when I was in high school, I used to go overboard with thinking of words, and it was the worst I ever
Look,
had.
they don't understand.
Worst time
I
ever.
listen. They mean well, Christian. God bless them. They're trying. They're doing, and they do a lot of right things better than I'll ever do it or than you will. But in terms of understanding stuttering, if you haven't been in that pit, it's very difficult to understand what's going on. Everybody, this is the world's only community. 8 million people. We had 30 people here or something at the beginning today. They're out of 8 million people, there are 30 people coming here right now into this community. We have more that are in practice sessions. Some people won't come because they work now or they're embarrassed to be here or something. But basically, we're the only community in the world of ex-stutterers like Berthusia and Clifton and me and others. Most of the people who are hosting for us are ex-stutterers, and we're trying to improve our own speech, and we're trying to help stutterers. And they're all levels of stutterers like you. Most stutterers are situational. They don't stutter every word everywhere. We've got some that do for sure, but not for long, I'll tell you that. I make a little challenge. I make it a game for myself. This is a game for me too. I love the game because I love all my people. But it's a game for me. I love taking a person who stutters every single word, and in 1 hour, I got them 30 minutes fluent. Yeah, Prathusha, I want to thank you too. It's great to have you back. It's great to see you, and congrats again on the baby. And so thanks for taking over today and filling in for Vikram. Shame on him. He's a good guy. I know something happened. Something. He has some good reason. He probably misunderstood the appointment, or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Prathusha, and
Thank,
everybody for your questions and thoughts today.
thank you, Coach Lee. So it's time to close our meeting. I hope that you enjoyed exchanging thoughts with ex-stutterers and those fast becoming ex-stutterers. I will now end our session with the motto. Feel free to say it along with me. If you can say one word anywhere, anytime, then you can say and love to say any word, anywhere, anytime. See you next Saturday.